Hello, how are you? I've come out today to do a quick review of my Snugpak Ionosphere. I haven't used it for a long time. I used it on my first ever wild camp on sheep's tour back probably about a year ago now, but I'm hoping to use it this summer. So I dug it out last weekend to have a look at it, and I thought actually it's such a great little tent, I wanted to share it with you. So let's take a look. So before I put it up, I just thought I would show you the Packsize. So that's it in its bag. It has got compression straps on the side. This is probably not the smallest you could get it, but I've got the poles and everything in here. So yeah, just to give you a kind of idea. I'll put the weights and everything on screen later with all the kind of the technical gubbins that I know some of you just love, but yeah, it weighs all in this, it weighs 1.52 kilograms, so you can see why I'm keen to use this for my longer trips as opposed to my Cloud Peak, which is near on to 2.5 kilos. So let's get it up. Let's get it up. Let me just show you first. It'd be interesting to see how many innuendos are in this video, wouldn't it, come the end? Maybe I'll count them on the screen. I just wanted to show you, if she can find them, the pegs. Oh, and it comes with a whole repair kit, which is incredible. It's got material in it if you've got a tear. It's got a pole repair kit in it. It's got everything in there. It's amazing. I'll show you in a bit more detail later. These are the pegs, or stakes as some people like to call them. They're quite beefy actually, so that's they are quite a bit chunkier than my Cloud Peak ones, and I'm sorry to keep referring to that, but obviously that's the tent I use the most. They didn't come with any loops on. Apologies for the really crappy nail varnish, shoddy, but yeah, so I've tied this on because otherwise they're incredibly difficult to get out of the ground, but they're really good, really strong and really light. So let's get it up. Absolutely flipping boiling now. Right, so obviously I've showed you the time lapse of me putting the tent up, faffing around a little bit. Essentially it's a 2-pole tent. It's definitely one person, maybe one person and a dog or a tiny child. There's various things I want to point out about this tent that I've learnt just from camping in it one time. I'll open it and I'll take you inside in a minute. I've brought with me my sleep mat so you can see kind of realistically how much room one bed takes up. This is the thing that puts me off this tent and using it if it was bad weather. You would need to have some kind of tarp, but that's what I was trying to do last week and I couldn't come up with a configuration at all that would work. So I think you would just have to have a tarp somewhere, set up somewhere else, and literally that's for sleeping in. But let me spin you around and I'll show you what I mean. Right, there it is. It's a nice looking little tent, and it's really, you can see it's really low to the ground. I looked, and at the back it's 50 centimetres at the highest point, and at the front it's 80 centimetres at the highest point, so you can tell already it's not made for sitting up in, but it's a nice looking little tent, I think. And it is really good in the wind. Obviously, ideally, you want to try and point the back into the wind or the front into the wind so that it kind of uses its natural aerodynamics. But it's a great little tent. Right, I apologise profusely, A, for any banging you can hear because someone's banging on a fence post over there, and B, for the wind noise. This wind is doing my nut in, but that's it, enough of that. Right, so this is obviously the front. Let me lower you a bit. So this is the front of the tent, and the door, it's got Velcro at the bottom, which is quite good, and then you unzip it to there, and you can roll it back all the way. So you unpeg it, let me show you, unpeg it down here off that one, and then it's got the classic kind of toggle and loop. So far so good, right? So the door to get in the tent, it's got a two-way zip on it. I can't see what you can see here. So it's got a zip along the bottom that goes all the way back to there, and then it's got a zip again that goes from here all the way up to the top there, and again you can roll that all back, and again toggle and loop. Okay, it's no seam mesh like most things these days, and it's some kind of material, polyester something or other, PU coated, I remember that, and I know it's 5,000 hydrostatic head for the fly sheet and for the ground sheet, which is incredible. It's really, really thick quality, this ground sheet. It's really thick. I am going to make a footprint for it. I've been very kindly sent some Tyvek by Mike from Cornish Knives and Wild Camping. I got there. Take 57. So I am going to cut a footprint for it, but the ground sheet for this is really, really thick. But obviously we all know if you're out camping for a few days, you do not want to be getting wet in your tent. I've lost track of how many I've done now. But let me just show you inside, and then I'm going to get in and demonstrate the size. We all know how important the size is. You might wonder why I'm not using my pump to blow the mat up, but it's only because I don't want to draw attention to myself. It's quite noisy, so I'm giving it a blow. Always makes me go a bit lightheaded doing this. Right, now we've got our bed up. I'm going to demonstrate in a minute. I'm going to have to move you a bit further away so you won't be able to hear me talking, but I'm going to demonstrate in a minute how to get in this bad boy, because the way I can see it, there is really only, well, certainly for someone of my height, kind of one way in and one way out, and it's not exactly easy or graceful. So this could be quite amusing for you to watch me try to do this with my big butt trying to get it in this tent. Let me do a demonstration. So graceful. Such a big butt. Such a little doorway. Yeah. Right, let's go in. Come on. Right. As my very graceful demonstration showed, it's not the easiest of tents to get into, but it's doable, and it depends how little you are and how flexible and bendy you are. And if it's dry, that's fine, but my kind of thinking is that if it was really wet, it would be really difficult to get in and out without this entire area of your tent getting wet. And like I said before, nobody likes to be wet in their tent for the wrong reasons. So, as you can see, I've got my bed in here. Let me bring you a little closer now I've come in the tent. Right, so I will always have my head up the highest end, just because I get a bit claustrophobic. Let's move you here. You're going to have to bear with me a little bit on this because it's all a bit faffy, isn't it? Right, so let me do this up a bit flappy. So right, so this head end's fine. I don't feel claustrophobic up this end at all. Where my issue lies is if I want to get changed in the morning. Now, I've kind of learnt since my first wild camp that one doesn't generally get undressed. Generally, one kind of stays in most clothing to sleep, or at least I have been because I've been so flipping cold. But the leg room inside the tent, and I'll show you around in a minute, once you're up on your bed, you've got very little space to kind of bend your knees up. So you'd have to kind of lay on your side almost to get changed, which again is fine if you're fairly bendy and flexible. You've got loads of space in here for your gear, like loads of space. So I don't know if you can see above my head. Can you see there? So above the mat there, there's still like probably 6-8 inches. A woman's 6-8 inches, not a man's 6-8 inches, because I think there's a difference. Move you up a bit. And then at the end, there's still room. I mean, I can't even touch the end, and I'm like stretching my toes out, pointy ballet toes, and I can't even reach the end. There's room next to me for my rucksack, which is what I did when I camped in it that first time, is I had my rucksack down next to me. So you could put it down under your feet if you were slipping down the tent a little bit, which I think actually I did end up doing. In fact, I did end up doing that on my sheep's tour, my first sheep's tour camp, because I was sliding. But so there is loads and loads of room. Let me come in with me. Come in, people. Right, so I've kind of moved my bed down a little bit from where it was, but look, you can still see I can barely touch the end. It's all mesh basically. The foot end is blocked off more because obviously you've got a lot of ventilation underneath. You can see sort of the light under there, so that's all ventilation. The fly does sit very close to the inner in the middle, but it doesn't quite touch. That may be just more to do with me pitching than anything else. But you can see, I mean, look, if I just move you, see how much space there is next to me here. Easily put my backpack there. Easily. So what do you think? It's alright, isn't it? And I think in the summer like I say, I'm planning to do, I'm not going to reveal what it is yet, but it's going to be over 3 days, and it's going to be, for me, it's going to be quite a challenge with another YouTuber, which is very exciting. And I think I'm going to use this because, as you all know, I love my Cloud Peak. But this is going to be obviously a lot more practical because it's a lot lighter. And in the summer, let's hope and be optimistic that I might have decent weather, she said. because that'll be the only issue that I'll have, is if it is wet. And that is what puts me off using this tent more. I probably will use it in the summer a lot more, even for wild camps on Dartmoor, just like weight reasons. But the getting in and out is a bit of a faff for me, and not having anywhere to sit when it is colder of an evening. I can literally sit to my bottom in the tent, and I'll show you in a minute how much my head sticks out the top. But it's all right. I do like it. It's very well made. It is really, really good quality. All the seams are taped. They're all waterproof. They're all taped. As I say, the material itself is all ripstop. The fly sheet's ripstop. I'll put all the proper gubbins on screen for all you geeks who like that stuff. But it's cool. It is a really decent tent. There's no pockets or anything in here, but then I don't think you really... Oh no, there is a pocket. There is actually. I'm lying to you people. Down here, there is a pocket. Actually big enough for a hip flask and all sorts of things. I have actually got my hip flask with me as well. Where is it? Oh, I'll find it in a minute. How exciting. Have a little tipple while I'm out. I think I'm going to get the kettle on in a minute and just have a little drink while I'm here. And I've had a parcel delivered yesterday, which I've saved to open properly. I haven't looked to see what's in it, but it's very exciting. So I'll show you that in a minute as well. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you've got one and how you get in it as well, I'd be really interested to find out whether I'm missing a trick or whether I'm kind of getting in and out the easiest way. Let's get the kettle on. Yesterday I received a package which I knew I was getting, but I did not know what was going to be inside it, and it's very exciting because I haven't looked properly yet. So Mike from Cornish Knives and Wild Camping has sent me some Tyvek, which is incredibly generous because this stuff is not cheap. I might be the only person on the world that thought that this was just like a piece like material, and it feels like paper. It's the weirdest thing ever. So I'm going to cut a piece of this at home out of the wind to go under my Snugpak Ionosphere. So thank you so much, Mike. But also look, I've got a bag of goodies. So it started out to be a sticker swap, and now I feel like a right stingy old cow because I sent him a sticker and he sent me all sorts of goodies. So I thought I'd open it with you to share it with you. So stickers, awesome. Thank you, Mike. And I've got, bless him, I've got, wowzer, right, so I've got peanut butter. Flipping love peanut butter as well, so it's like a sachet. That's awesome. I've got some tea bags, Earl Grey, no, not Earl Grey, Twinings everyday, sorry. I've got 2 Lions coffee bags and 2 Taylor's coffee bags. Well, everybody knows I love these. I'm always excited to try new coffee. So thank you so much, Mike. That's so generous of you. It's exciting. It's like when you're a kid and you get your stocking and it's all got exciting bits in it. I love it. And my stickers, that's so cool. So I'm going to add one of your stickers to my bottle, I think. I've got to see if I've got room on it though. My bottle's getting quite full, look. But I have got another bottle at home. So if your sticker won't fit on here, I don't know if it's going to. It might fit. Let's see, if it won't fit on here, you'll be going on my other bottle, Mike, because I've got 2 bottles. So thank you so much, that's so generous. Little sweetheart, thank you. I'm actually just trying one of the Lions coffee bags now, and it smells incredible. Do you reckon one day they'll invent like smell-o-vision? Do you remember you used to get like scratch and sniff? Sounds really inappropriate actually. Does anyone else remember scratch and sniff? Just me? Okay then. Exciting, I love trying new coffees. Well, thank you so much for coming with me this afternoon, just to have a look at this tent. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. I know I was contacted by Int Kerno on Instagram, who is interested in buying this tent, so I hope I've answered all your questions. It's definitely worth every penny, I would say. It's just, as I say, just for me, the things to bear in mind is just the slight awkwardness getting in and out. If it was wet, I just think everything inside would end up getting wet. I just don't see any other way of getting in and out without that happening, really. But maybe it's just me. If anyone can suggest anything, I'm all ears, definitely. But yeah, plenty of room inside. Really great tent for just sort of, and it's lightweight. It's really well made. I can't stress that enough. Honestly, Snugpak do know how to make really decent qualities, really quality tents. And I know it's really good in the wind. As I say, last weekend I took it out just to have a bit of a play around with it, familiarise myself with it again, and it was absolutely blowing a flipping hoolie last weekend. It's a bit calmer today and it's still flipping windy. I mean, well, right on cue. It's still windy. I don't know what's going on with it. Just seems to be windy all the time at the minute. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful, and thank you ever so much for coming with me. I'll see you again soon, guys. Take care. Bye.